with red-brown hair that fell in his eyes. Haldis had cut it while she lived, but no one bothered after the coughing sickness took her. I looked at him with the same blue eyes. "You're come after all, then," I said, feeling foolish even as I spoke, for it was self-evident he had come, and not alone. Behind him were the hard-faced crew of the ship he mastered. Gunnar Rowdy had warned of these. "Why would I not?" he answered, "when word comes that a man's son is in danger from his own kin." "Just so," I replied, thinking that he had taken his time, that 10 years was more than a pause for breath in the journey to his son. It only came to me later, when I'd aged into life a little, that Rurik had done his task of raising me better than most. But looking at this raw-boned, hard man from a boatload of hard men, and realizing he was the one who had left me in the first place, with no word since, I grew so angry I could not speak. He took that for something else. The moment of our meeting, the horror of what had gone before with the white bear, and nodded. "Who'd have thought that cub would have caused such trouble? I thought to sell it in Ireland, but that nothing Goodleaf let it go, arse." The bear had grown too big for its cage, so had to be tethered loose and fed mountains of herring, until the thrall had grown too afraid to go near it. There had been an eye-blink of cheering when everyone saw it had gone, then blind panic that such a monster was loose. Goodleaf and Bjarni and Gunnar Rowdy had hunted it all that year, but found nothing. My father clapped me on the shoulder and said gruffly, "Can you walk? Einar wants to see you." "Fuck Einar," was what I wanted to say. "Fuck you too. Freydis is dead because of your bloody bear, and the fact that you weren't around to decide what to do with it before someone got tired of it and let it escape. Where were you? And tell me of me, my mother. I know nothing." Instead, I nodded and weaved upright, the thoughts in me wheeling and screaming like terns round a fresh catch, the years between us and the weird of that white bear. How long was it free? 8 years? Yet this winter it had somehow tracked me down and brought my father back to me with its death, like an Odin sacrifice. The weird of it made me shiver. Those 3 Norn sisters who weave the lives of every creature had started on a strange tapestry for me. My father held out Bjarni's sword to me. "It isn't mine," I said, half ashamed, half defiant. It was Bjarni's sword, he who had been Goodleaf's oar-mate. He and Goodleaf had taught me the strokes of it. Then Gunnar Rowdy had showed me how to use it in a real fight. "When you stand in a shield wall, boy," he said, "forget all the fancy strokes. Hit their fucking feet, cut the ankles from them, stab them up and under the shield and the hem of their mail, right into their balls. It's the only bits you can reach anyway." Then he showed me how to use the hilt, my shield, my knees, elbows, and teeth, while Goodleaf and Bjarni stayed quiet. It was then I saw they were afraid of Gunnar Rowdy, and learned later, from Haldis of course, that Gunnar stayed at Bjornshaven because he had got Bjarni and Goodleaf back from a raid to Dyflin that went badly wrong. Everyone thought them dead, and then, 2 seasons later, in they sailed with a stolen ship, captured thralls and tales of Gunnar's daring. They owed him their lives and a berth for as long as he breathed. "I stole it from Goodleaf," I told my father, when it was clear he wanted me to die in the snow on the way to Freydis Hauff. He frowned. "Aye, so Gunnar said when he sent word." That day began with Goodleaf sitting in his gift throne, with his ship prows on either side, and himself swathed in furs, trying to be a great jarl, and managing only to look like a bad-tempered cat. Bjarni had died the previous year, and Haldis the year before that. Now Goodleaf complained of the cold and avoided going out much. He sat, hunched and glowering, with only old Coombe close to his elbow, the thrall brought back as a slave from a Christ temple in Dyflin. "I'm not up to the journey to the high pasture this year," Goodleaf said. "The herd needs to be brought down and essentials taken to Freydis." It was an early winter, the colour leached from the land by cold. "It has already snowed," I reminded him. "It may be too deep to drive."